Hello there! After sharing the making of two mini makeup palettes that are my absolute pride and joy, it's time for a travel makeup bag episode on the additional products that made it into my suitcase for a month away. These little Artist Kit Company palettes were such an incredible way to streamline my routine. You can find details on all of the shades in the videos linked below, but I needed some other items to supplement those creamy products. Tried to keep it fairly minimal, but I'm still a beauty lover, so I took two makeup bags with me. The large one was completely empty, so I could put any purchases from my travels inside, and the smaller bag is my actual makeup bag with my entire routine. The way I did that, first, those palettes, and second, no unnecessary packaging or big bottles. We're saving space and weight in every possible way by decanting my complexion steps. Even for a month away, you do not need full-sized anything. You can always pack less than you think, particularly in summer with some no makeup, sunscreen only days ahead. In fact, sunscreen is the only product you can't decant as it can affect its efficacy. But primer, glowy moisturizer, glowy base products, bronzing tint, skin tint, foundation, they can all be decanted. My containers of choice are these tiny little tubes from Muji, nice and squeezy so you can always get the product out. These chunky bottles are not coming with me, but I did want some different glowy base and coverage options, so let's start decanting. Normally not fussed about primer, but for a wedding in Greece in the height of summer, I was going to need it. So a few pumps of Gucci Beauty's Silk Priming Serum, a thin fluid that blurs my pores, feels like silk. I usually only wear 1 or 2 pumps, so this is more than enough, plus a quick G for Gucci. I decanted some Victoria Beckham Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturiser in the past, so I just topped this up, gorgeously glowy base with very fine gold pearls that give you a stunning glow. I only use 1 pump, but I want a fair bit of this because I'll apply it under my makeup most days. Thank you, VB. After seeing Elle Fanning's unbelievable ethereal glow on her décolletage and collarbones at the Met Gala, as someone who is also extremely fair, I felt inspired to decant the exact product she wore, L'Oreal Lumi Glotion in 901 Fair, to create the same pearly pink glow on my limbs at the wedding I was going to. The everyday skin tint I took was Summer Fridays. I've worn this a lot this year. I love how skin-like and sheer the coverage is for an undetectable complexion boost. Usually only mix a couple of tiny drops together, so a few squeezes will definitely be enough to get me through the whole trip. The destination wedding on the itinerary did mean I wanted to pack a few fancier products than a regular holiday would require, so No. 1 de Chanel Revitalizing Foundation came with me. I've taken this away before. Still light and glowy, but a little more put together. It subtly perfects my skin. I only apply about 3/4 of a pump at home for my full face, so a dozen-ish pumps is absolutely plenty. You never need the whole bottle. There they all are. Look at those little babies. So cute and such an efficient way to pack, particularly compared to all of that packaging and glass to begin with. No thank you. I do see a label maker in my future, but for now, the Sharpie letters help remind me which one is which on the road. Some additional base steps. I was tempted to take this mini By Terry CC serum in Sunny Flash as my bronzy base, but the bottle was still a bit too big. Thought about decanting, but ended up swapping completely to Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum in Juice Boost, a cooling burst of bronze that gives you beautifully sheer warmth and a dewy finish. I depotted my higher coverage concealer into one of my palettes, so I only need my usual under eye brightening fluid, YSL Touche Éclat, my usual brow combo, Glossier Boy Brow is the best tiny pomade for travel, then my Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift pencil to fill in any gaps. Always have this By Terry mini pressed hydro powder in my travel bag because it's so small and light, controls shine in a seamless, non-cakey way, and even has a little sponge and mirror inside, so it's great for touch-ups. I'm only a setting spray person for special occasions, so a hot summer wedding counts, but even this mini Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish setting spray is too chunky. We can do better than that. Hello, 15ml Muji spray bottle. Spraying the formula into this was pretty inefficient, so I just took the lid off and poured some in. Way more than I'll get through on the trip, but look at that size difference. In addition to the 5 cream blushes in my palette, I snuck a mini stick in for top-ups during the day because my face eats blush, and for hygiene reasons I'd prefer to leave my palette at home and not use it for touch-ups on the go. Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek in subtle rose beige Enigma is so easy to swipe on for fresh, dewy cheeks. Eyes is the biggest group, lots of items you can't decant, but they're still slim. 2 eyeliner options, one for day, one for night. Charlotte Tilbury Classic Eye Powder Pencil in Shimmering Brown is dressier, but this soft medium brown with slight sparkle still isn't too heavy for a daytime wedding. And I love Chanel's Stylo Yeux Waterproof in Rose Cuivre. This coralish pink shimmer brightens up my eyes in a sneaky way. A new tube of a very old favourite mascara. Who's been here since I was first talking about Chanel Le Volume, one of the all-time great formulas for elegant volume. It's not too heavy, never clumpy, but buildable. Some tools. NARS Pro Prime eyeshadow base is an essential for me. Then 3 brushes, 2 classic blending shapes, Refa 01 and MAC 217, plus Merit's brush number 2 because I love the tiny end to apply darker shadow shades as liner or continue colour under my bottom lashes. And the only palette I'll travel with, Bake Up Beauty Micro Palm Palette in Desert Road Trip, is made for travel because it literally fits in the palm of your hand and has every neutral brownie shade you could wish for. While I was making my DIY palette, I contemplated popping out this refillable peachy Lisa Eldridge shade, but the pinky Bake Up shade was close enough in the end, already had me covered. I also mentioned packing the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Desert Sand in that palette video because I shaped my palette selections around this. Such a fun orange copper shimmer for speedy summer eyeliner looks, great on green eyes. In addition to my lip palette, I wanted a few actual bullets for practical keep in my bag reapplication reasons. I was spending 2 weeks in London and Paris for work, then 2 weeks in Greece and Albania by the sea, so I picked 2 city lipsticks and 2 holiday lipsticks. I'll insert some past swatches, sorry, ran out of time to film them before I left. My first choice, Bobbi Brown Crushed Lip Colour in, say it with me now, Italian Rose. I talk about this shade and formula far too often, but it's my go-to easy, sheer, buildable matte and My Lips But Better flush of warm rose. For a dressier meeting or dinner lip, it had to be Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution in Walk of No Shame. You know how I feel about these creamy mattes, and this rosy berry feels polished and confident, but can also be blotted on for a barely there bitten look. When I was selecting my signature summer red, one lipstick came to mind. Merit Signature Lip Matte in Warm Red Vermilion will brighten up even an already great day on summer holiday. One of the softest, comfiest matte formulas I've ever tried. It feels weightless on, lasts so well. I also went back through the Charlotte Tilbury archives to the highly underrated Matte Revolution shade Sexy Sienna, a golden, bold, ripe peach pick that's so fresh and vibrant, or you can tap it on for a shy coral flush. After a process of gloss elimination, I went with Mini Charlotte Tilbury Collagen Lip Bath in Refresh Rose. Always enjoy this minty formula and glassy shine. Also always keep a Mini by Terry Baume de Rose gloss in my bag, so that one hardly even counts. And don't forget to protect your lips. This teeny tiny Mini Ultraviolet Sheen Screen SPF 50 Buttery Balm in Pearly Pink Bejeweled joined in too. That's the lot. Of course, I had the help of my depotted palettes and decanted tubes to keep my bag light, but I enjoyed trying to pack fairly minimally within the other categories too. Would have slimmed it down even further if I wasn't going to a wedding, but I think this is still pretty good for a beauty lover packing for a month. If you've packed a travel makeup bag of any kind recently, whether it was for an endless summer adventure, a week away, a weekend away, or just a nice overnight trip, please let me know what made it into your bag or what's on rotation for you this summer. I could technically film a part 4 from this trip on what I ended up wearing to the destination wedding, so please let me know if you'd be interested in some guest makeup inspiration soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.